If you're new here, my name's Wes. I run 4x4 Rescue, and we do free off-road recoveries. If you ever get stuck, you need help, jump on one of my Facebook groups. I have a volunteer-based off-road recovery group for every single state. Search your state's name with 4x4 Rescue at the end. But today, we have a recovery in Rancho Bonita. I haven't seen any pictures of it yet, so I'm not sure what to expect, but we're pulling up here in just a minute. And I imagine we're gonna have to winch this thing out. Also, each video, or almost each video, whenever I remember, we give away one free recovery item from Rhino USA. This video, we're going to give away one of the big 4-inch toe straps. This thing is a beast. It's rated for 40,000 pounds. We will give that away in this video, and I'll let you know later in the video how you're gonna win it. Well, we just made it out here and we are following them to the very back of the property. Rancho is like 1,100 acres, so it's not massive, but it's still pretty big. And with all the puddles and mud holes and all the stuff out here, it can still take you 20-30 minutes to get to the back corner of it. So we're following them out now. We should be there in just a second. Well, we found it. She's way back here in the back corner of Rancho. Said they had a 1500 out here yesterday yanking on it and didn't move it. Sitting there pretty well. And then I guess the battery's dead. So luckily I have my jump pack. Hopefully the jump pack is charged, which it should be. We'll get the jump pack hooked up to it, see if the battery cranks over, if the vehicle is if it's able to turn its own wheels. That's going to make life a lot easier on any recovery. Save the wear and tear and strain on the Jeep. But we have the Jeep in position. I'd say 30 feet away, maybe 30, 40 foot between here to there. We're just going to run a single line winch pull. I don't think there's any reason to double or to run a snatch block. Hitch shackle. That way I always carry 2 of these. I'm gonna plug mine into the back of his receiver package. That way we have a closed loop system. We're not winching off of the tow ball. So on the back, we have our anchor. And normally, I never have a tow ball on my Jeep, but I did just move my trailer. And we have the Rhino locking hitch pin in here. And wouldn't you know it, I didn't bring the keys for it. So, not a big deal though. Again, we're not yanking on it. This is just to hold the Jeep in place so it doesn't get, you know, pulled in, dragged in forward. So totally acceptable to run an anchor off of a tow ball, but again, you just don't want to be yanking off of that. Everybody thinks tow balls are all bad, you know, which they are. You definitely don't want to use them in recoveries if you don't have to, but there are some times when it's acceptable. Let's get this thing out. We're about to get rained out, boys. Go ahead and shut the Jeep down. Make sure my windows are up. Florida rain is wild. Like, it'll just come with a wall. Like, it's not just a steady little rain where it starts drizzling and it progressively gets worse. Half the time it's just a freaking hurricane that hits you within 30 seconds and a wall of rain comes rushing through the forest. This shouldn't take long. Actually, I don't want to say that because every time I say something like that, it comes back and bites me in the ass.
She said, I'm sorry.
Jump box for the win, fired right up, but the weather is starting to get pretty bad here. But we got the winch line ran out, about to get it hooked up. Let's get it. Oh, well, either which way, let's get
I know, I'm just worried about him getting electrocuted. That shit is serious. It is like right there. The lightning is scary and he's in the lightning.
All right, well, we got it hooked up, we got it ready, but it ended up while we were hooking up the winch line, it died out. There, the engine shut off. Ooh. Dang, that's some crazy lightning out here, but we're trying to get this thing out before it starts dumping on us. Hopefully the jump box has got enough juice in it to fire it over one more time, but besides that, we're hooked up, ready to go. Winch line dampener, we're gonna start with a single line pull. If that doesn't work, we'll snatch block it, but I'm pretty sure we'll get it that way. It didn't do it? It won't turn on. Well, let me see. Weird. Oh, that's not good. Damn. Yeah, she did. Ready? Yeah. You get it in neutral? Yeah. Well, single line pull is not cutting it. It's bogging down the winch big time, so we're gonna have to snatch block it. And now it's not running, so it just makes it harder. But definitely mud suction in there. Single line pull, 10,000 pound winch, didn't even budge it. We got it set up. Soft shackle to the D-ring. This is just an old tree saver that I got because I needed just a little bit more length to make it back without having all my line out of the winch. And then I'm gonna throw my winch blanket back on here. Hopefully that gets it. We will see. All right, here we go. We're doing like 3 or 4 second burst. When it's really suctioned in like this, what I'll do is I'll give it a lot of tension. I'll wait a couple seconds. Hopefully that tension on the line will like slowly start to break the mud suction. And instead of just trying to go right for the kill right off the bat, I give it just a little bit of click. I'll show you. Hold it down for a second, let off, and then that way all that tension on the line will help break mud suction without putting too much strain on my winch. It's a slow process, but it's the safest way to do it sometimes. The winch is definitely struggling right now. Even we might have to run double snatch blocks on this thing. And because I don't have dual batteries, it's taking a ton of power right now. Oh, she's moving. We got it. We got it. We got it. There she goes. Good deal. Good deal. There she is, boys. We're still just clicking on, clicking off. Nice and easy. I don't want to smoke my battery because this is a lot of amps being on this thing. Like I said earlier, you know, if this thing was running, it would probably be able to get itself out right now. It'd be able to back itself out most of the way. All right, we're gonna do a little bit longer pull this time since mud suction's broke. And then another thing I do is I keep my RPMs up. 2.5, 3,000 RPM while I'm winching. That's something I always preach to everybody. You know, I see a lot of people making the mistake of being outside of their vehicle and just holding down the winch and winching and winching, but that's what smokes your battery. You know, some people will say 20, 30 seconds on, 20, 30 seconds off, but I don't even do that anymore. I used to do that, but after having 2 different separate battery issues, now I just 5 seconds on, 5 seconds off. So I think we're good for a second. Let the battery recharge and we'll reassess it, and then we'll keep winching. Another thing you got to be cautious of is the winch line. Look at it, it's all bound up on one side. So now we got to re-spool it out and winch it back in over here and make it even. If not, it'll start rubbing and cut your line. Common mistake, a lot of people forget about that. All right, we just rewound in the winch line and it's just coming out a lot easier now. If we could have kept it running earlier, it would back right out at this point, but sometimes the best option is just to get it out, get it on dry land, and then assess it and mess with it. Makes it a little bit easier. All right, we got the Jeep turned around. Got it hooked up with the 4-inch Rhino flat strap. A lot of times we use kinetic ropes, but we're not yanking this. We're just gonna be a steady pull, so flat strap is totally ideal. This is actually what it's meant for. Still have the receiver shackle on that side, closed loop system, nothing's gonna pop off. Went to D-ring on my side, and this is why I like soft shackles. I could have connected right to the D-ring, but the soft shackle is just easy. It's just quick connecting. Another little tip, I drag my rope all the way off to the driver's side. That way, as I'm pulling forward in my mirror, I can see it start to get tight and the slack taken up. That way I know where the end of the rope is. So let's get it, and I'm in 4 low. Anytime you're pulling stuff like this, you definitely want to be in 4 low. 4 high just does not have the power, so let's get it. Find the end of the ropes right there. There she goes. Nice and easy. Are you good? Yep. And that's it. All right, well, we got it out. Hardest part though is the motor won't start. It's got some oil in the water, so we're just gonna drag it back to the front gate and get a tow truck to come and get it. But I didn't get it on camera, but we did just have to like get it all through this stuff, which is like the tightest obstacle out here. We made it though, and then now we got the kinetic rope hooked up, and we're gonna drag it back out probably 10-15 minutes. Since I have my tow ball on the back, usually I would go to the hitch receiver, so I ran to both tow points. My kinetic rope in the middle. Now keep in mind, we're not really yanking on this. It's just gonna be a slow, steady pull, but at least this way I can use the benefit of both tow points. Same thing on his end. It's basically a bridle, tree saver, kinetic rope. And then we got a lot of turns out here to make, so that way, you know, whichever angle I'm on, it'll keep tension on it. If I were to run 2 tree savers, it would drop slack on one side. This is the best way to do it. Probably 20 minutes of dragging this thing back out. The Jeep's gotta earn her pay for the day. All right, well, we got her back there. It's actually really not that hard on the Jeep. When you're in 4 low, I mean, I'd be curious to know, you know, how much a Jeep can really tow, but it's not that hard on it. It really doesn't make too much of a difference, and that's a heavy truck back there. But the kinetic rope is good for this because it takes all that, like, whenever you're towing like this with a tow strap, and you get slack, and then it gets tight, and then it gets slack, it's real hard on both vehicles. It's like a pop, it's like a violent jerking motion, but the kinetic rope doesn't do that, so we're good. But we got a long ways to go, a couple miles probably, lots of mud puddles, obstacles, so, but we should be solid. So we run into stuff like this where it's like, trying to get all around through that stuff is kind of more difficult than just going straight, but I don't know how deep this dang puddle is. But I don't want to chance my luck. I've already driven it through quite a few big puddles, but you just don't know. And I got 7,000 pounds behind me. Probably not the best idea, but it just gets tight. It's tight through this type of stuff. I gotta keep making super wide turns. We got that. That one wasn't too bad. We're making it. A little bit more to go. Another maybe couple minutes, we'll be out of here. Successful recovery mission, like always. It turned into more of an ordeal than I would have hoped for. Like, that's why I said it should be easy, right? No, battery dead. Jump box, every time we like hooked up the jump box, as soon as he turned it on, if it didn't start, it would just smoke, and then the jump box would fry. And I have to go plug the jump box back in for a second before it kicked back on. So I'm not sure if that's a fault on his end or the jump box is just shorting out. But headed back to Tampa now for that toe strap. If you guys want to win that, comment something positive on this video, give it a thumbs up, like it for me. All that stuff helps the algorithm, helps me get more exposure, and I need all the help I can get right now. If you guys want any of the equipment that you see me use, the snatch blocks, the tree savers, kinetic ropes, go to rhinousainc.com. We get 10% discount with the code 4x4 Rescue. But if you made it this far, I definitely appreciate it. Hit that subscribe button for me, and I will see you guys next Monday.